This episode of The Inspiration Show is so incredibly special because today's inspiration is a shining star, and she's been someone who has been such an inspiration to me for so many years. The incredibly talented Madison Mosley is joining me. She truly does it all from singing to dancing and acting with a stage presence that makes you cheer for her the moment she steps on stage. Madison is currently starring as Little Red Riding Hood in Into the Woods at Cape Playhouse. Thank you so much, Madison, for joining me. It's such an honor to get to look up to you and watch you shine, and I'm just so excited to have you here.
That's so sweet, of course. I'm so excited to talk to you.
So let's start at the very beginning. When did you discover that you had a passion for singing and for theater?
Well, it was one of those things that I got really lucky with. Like, when you're young and your parents just kind of put you into things and like hope you like it, like soccer. And one of the first things my mom put me into, I was really good at reading when I was like three, or I don't know. My reading comprehension, I guess, was really good. And she was like, I think she really enjoys like a theater camp. So I did this theater camp for like pre-kindergarteners, and it wasn't like a show or anything. And we were just like reciting words from like an off-brand Little Mermaid and then telling jokes and then like singing a song together. But I had really enjoyed it. And my mom was like, "Oh, you like really seem to get into it." And then I took dance classes. And then I just kept, I think I did like one community theater show. I had lived in Connecticut for a little bit and it was Aristocats. And I never got to do the show because I got pneumonia during our tech week.
No.
And so I had wished so badly that I would get to do it again. And then when we moved to Wisconsin, they were doing Aristocats at the community theater near us. So I was like, oh my God. And I always say it was meant to be because like that's like a sign, I think. So I've loved theater and everything since I was like in kindergarten.
Oh, that is so meant to be. Like,
I think
wow.
so. I think so.
And I mean, it's so special too, like being bit by the theater bug when you're so young. Like, I think that's just the most special experience. Is like, I'll look back on it too with like the first role I ever played was Grandpa Joe in Willy Wonka and
Ugh,
the Chocolate Factory. And I was like 6 years
classic.
old. And I think that's the best when you look back at these like old roles that you played when you were younger. And like now that you're pursuing it professionally, it's just like, I can't believe I did that. But it's also like, it's such an
Yeah,
amazing beginning to such a beautiful journey. And I think it's so special when you kind of fall into it when you're young and just really fall in love with it.
it's the best.
Yeah. So, what really inspired you to become a performer and pursue it professionally, and who's been an inspiration of yours throughout your career?
Ooh. I'd say really the people around me. Like I feel like I did look up to big Broadway people. Like I was really into like I loved Audra McDonald and I loved seeing like I was like really into like Krista Rodriguez at that time. Like I wanted to be Wednesday and I was like, I love her. I'm obsessed. But when I'd always enjoyed doing theater and I knew that that was something I like would want to do and like could only like when I was thinking of jobs out of school, I was like, I don't want to do anything else. I was like, if I
Yeah,
have to be in an office, please don't make
yeah.
me. But I did this production of Carrie and my friend was Carrie, and I think I'd taken it seriously up until that point. But this was like beginning of high school, but she was just really like she went to Juilliard and now she's like acting. But I was like, oh my God, like this girl is insane. Like, and it was just a really great production of like great performers. And it was like all my friends, but also it was just, I think it was the first kind of like serious musical I'd done. It was a little bit more horror and like I think the setting wasn't like Oklahoma. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I could actually and I played like I had like three lines. Like I wasn't like anybody crazy, but I was like, I think I could like I really want to do this. Like I could really do this. And it was my first kind of like professional show. Um, so I was just always really inspired by other people and just like the people I was growing up with and seeing them do really well and being like, oh, maybe I should take this a little bit more seriously too. And then I think I was like, I think I'm gonna try because I at this point I didn't even know of any of the top schools or anything like that. Like it just made me want to take it a little bit more seriously and actually pursue it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so special. Like, it's so true when they say that theater people are the luckiest people. And I just think it's so special that, like,
Yeah.
when you're working on a show, you get to become family with the people that you're working with and kind of just
Mhm.
watch them in their craft and admire what they do and kind of like pick these little tidbits that they do in their acting. And it's like, oh, I could do that too. And like, you learn so much just by watching theater and like learning from the people that's around you. And I think that that is just the coolest experience as well.
Yeah, it's the best. I literally that from watching theater, like I try and see so many shows in the city and like all the small plays too off Broadway. And it's like there's just something about it, just being able to like watch other people do their work that's so inspiring. I feel like anytime I feel a little bit like, I don't know what I'm doing, I feel a little bit like I'm hitting like a flat line, I'll like go see a show and I'm like, this is the best. Like it's so good. It's the best.
It just awakens you. And like I
Mhm.
think it's so, so special. Like just there's nothing like sitting in a theater and just watching it unfold right in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
And then knowing what it feels like to be on the other side of that, I think it just adds another like moment of giddy for people that aren't in
Yeah.
theater
I think
that they
that's what it is.
experience. Yeah. Oh, so can you take us back to the first time that you experienced theater and how you were feeling at the time?
Oh. Oh my gosh, the first show I saw was Lion King,
Always,
which I
always
think
coming back to
was
Lion King.
perfect. Perfect
Yes.
first show to see. I think I was like had to be it was like probably like my first memory. It was like one of those like I was really
Yeah.
really young and I wore this like I used to have this my camera like moving, okay.
You're good.
I used to have this like this like fur coat and this matching fur purse. And I remember I
My
put like
queen.
snacks in it to take to the show. And it was just like I don't know. Even my older brother, I have two brothers, and they're not in the theater world really at all. Like my older brother's into film now and like screenwriting, but at the time it was like football, basketball. I don't want to, but he even loved the show, and like we kept going back to see it when it would tour through, and it's just like the puppets, and like I think it was just the movie, and then like the stage production is just so good that I think I was like, oh, I have to see five more of these, Mom. She's like, oh no, what have I done?
I know it's like it's so amazing. Give me 14 of them. Like it's so great.
Literally right
It's
now.
amazing. Like I think Lion King, it's just it's transcendent because like they come through the audience and like everyone knows the movie and I think like it's the perfect first show. Like it is
Yeah.
incredible. And I love
Mhm.
that it's never gonna close. Like it's
No,
so
and it literally better not. I'll be so
it,
upset.
it's
I'll
so
be
so
distraught.
good. Oh, I know it's so good. So, growing up, you participated in countless theater productions, including Sweet
Mhm.
Charity, Little Women, Into the Woods, and more. So, which regional theater productions have been the most memorable for you? And could you share a couple standout moments of little Maddie in theater?
I'm trying to think. Okay, so I'll do like three from like each period of time. So when I was a kid,
Yeah,
um, we had this is funny because now we're like doing the show in a barn on the Cape. But when I
yeah.
my first theater experiences were in a barn, a like refurbished barn, and it had this big like painted mural, all of like these like different like theater perform. It was just one of those like childhood experiences that you're like, yeah, that was a good one to have. And we would have these like rehearsals in this big old barn in the summer, and like we didn't have AC, so it was like all these fans. And one year we did Annie, and we were like, I remember that feeling like the biggest thing. I wasn't playing anybody named. They like, when they like write orphans so that more kids
Orphans,
can do
yeah.
it. I was like orphan number three, but it was like the best production I had done as a child, and I was like, guys, we could take this to Broadway. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, it just like felt like one of those, like when you're a kid, you're like, we're doing so good. This is transcendent.
Yeah.
And it was just, I think that was core memory to me. Like, and well, doing Annie to anybody, I feel like,
Oh
but
yeah.
it was
Oh
just
yeah.
like that group of people. It's like me and all of my best friends. We had randomly an amazing choreographer that was just so great. And he only did that show and never came back. And we were so sad about it. We were like, what's going on? And it was just so fun. And I think that was really one of the good ones to me. When I was in high school, I'm trying to think. I did this production of Footloose at my high school I really loved. I was
Oh,
rusty. It was awesome. My best friend was Ren and my best friend was Ariel. We had the time of our
that's
lives.
so fun.
It was
Oh,
great. And I think that was my last show before I left for college. And that was actually, I think that during that show, me and my friend who played Ren, we both got into the CCM. And so I think like I had gotten my email and it took him, I think he got in two initially, but for some reason his email didn't come through. And I remember like running through the theater and trying to find him. And that was a really sweet moment. Um, and I'm
Oh,
trying to think of something regional. Oh, when I was in school in Cincinnati, we there was this theater called the Carnegie in
yeah.
Kentucky. Quick drive over from our school. We thought it was in Cincinnati when we first auditioned, and then we like drove over to Kentucky. And we're like, oh, okay. But it was a great experience. It was their first year doing summer theater in rep, and now they have like a great summer program. And I love that theater, and I loved that team, and I loved everybody there. And it was funny because they were trying to build it. So they were just like CCM kids audition. So it was just like really a bunch of college kids. And then like every so often they'd have adults like for like our Into the Woods.
Yeah.
We had like an adult narrator, but it was like so fun because we were just staying in Cincinnati for the whole summer, which I had never done because obviously I'd go home from school. And
Yeah.
it was just this like great time of like doing I did all three shows. So it was just like I don't know, it was like a perfect summer of theater with my friends and it felt like camp. I was like, this is the
Oh,
best.
that's the best thing about like summer
Yeah.
rep theater or like summer stocks is like it literally just feels like summer camp and it's
Yeah,
so
that's
much
what we've
fun.
been saying here. If we're like we're
Yeah,
it's summer camp.
it's summer camp. Oh. So out of all the roles you've stepped into regionally, are there a few that like particularly stand out to you for specific reasons?
Mm. Say I've only done literally regionally the Carnegie technically and Beetlejuice, but at school I so love
No.
yeah, those are the only things I've ever done.
No, like Beetlejuice at school? No
No,
way.
I did do things at school, but
Yeah.
like technically regionally, like I've only
Yeah.
done like one other thing, I don't know, I think. But at
Yeah.
school, I love Little Women. And Little
Oh
Women
my
is one of
God.
my favorite
Yeah.
books, movies. Like when the Greta Gerwig Little Women came out, I was like, nobody talk to me. I love
Oh
it.
yeah.
I just
That
had it on repeat all the
yeah.
time. And so when I got to play Amy, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And we did it in a bookstore off campus. It was just it became very like
That's
intimate
gorgeous.
and small and special to our cast. And I think there's something so special about Little Women in general, but then being able to do it like in that world and like we only had so many seats when people come to see it and it was in a round and it was just like the best time and we only had like a piano and a violinist. It was just really beautiful and like I love that show. So I like being able to play Amy was like the best ever. And I think it was my senior year. So I was like, this is awesome.
Oh,
But that was really great. And then Sweet Charity was also really great. That was our last year with our our teacher who directed that. And she was so special to that program. She was our dance teacher and then like was the interim head of our program for a bit and like she picked our class and only our class. So it was just really special to be able to do that with her. And then it was a super dance heavy show and I loved it. It was so fun. And it's also just a great show. It
yeah.
was a really great show.
Oh,
Yeah.
those are so special. And I mean, I love getting to do theater in like unconventional venues.
I
Like doing
know.
Little Women in that bookstore, like I can't imagine what that must have been like. Because I mean, that show already just like put out on stage, like I always say that show's not done enough. Like that show is
No, it isn't. It's so
amazing.
good.
It's so good. Oh, I love
Another
that.
girl heavy show that we need.
Yes.
Hello.
I'm like hoping for a revival. Like I need it. It's so good.
It'd be so
It's gorgeous.
good.
Yeah. So fast forward to 2024, you graduated with a BFA in musical theater from CCM, which is
Yay.
the most incredible school. Like, oh, how did your experience at CCM influence your development as an actor and prepare you for a career in theater?
Yeah, I really enjoyed my time at CCM. I think what really made it for me was was my class. Like I had a really great group of people in my graduating class, and I think it just really elevated because we all made this pact. They were like, if we ever pick a piece for it, because like when we were going into showcase, we're like, if we pick a piece, like everybody needs to be blunt. Like we need to like be locking in and like actually be serious. And I think that was kind of the energy we had for our entire time at school. I just feel like when you have a space that feels very like you can be vulnerable in and like I don't know, actually do work in because I think when I was little, I got embarrassed to like sing in front of I still am a little bit. Like I didn't like singing in front of my family. I didn't like warming
I
up in front of
feel
my
that
family.
so hard.
I was like, if you come to the show, don't tell me you're there. Sit in the back, like, and they'd be like, Madison, we can't. I was like, just don't. You actually don't even have to come. I'm doing this for me. You don't even have to come. Like, nobody has to come see it. And I think I still get a little bit like hesitant in a room and like when I'm working on things and working through things, like if it's not a finished product, I get so like like people are watching me like choke and but I think that was something I got over at school. Like it was just so important to like crack at 9 in the morning and like have your voice like not be great and perfect and embarrass yourself a lot so that like now I feel like when I go into a room I can just like literally leave everything out and like leave that room and be like that was crazy. I literally was an insane person, but that scene was probably what they needed. Like I don't know. Like it's like I had to be screaming and I literally for this I like was screaming like blood curdling like, at the top of my lungs in this tiny room and this like bill. I felt so bad, but I was like, it had to be done. And now I'm like doing another show. I'm like, okay.
Had to
Um,
be done.
it had to be done. So I don't, it was just, it was really great. I wasn't really, I was a fine dancer when I went in. I feel like really great about that now. And it, I just think I really, I used to say I hated acting. I don't know. There was something about it that I used to feel so uncomfortable about and like having to like show true feelings. Like, but I like, now I'm like this. I love it. And I like, I want to do more plays. And like, I just think that school like really made me like I think it helped me discover the artist that I wanted to be and the artist that I am. And I was very grateful for my time there. It was a great time.
Yeah, and I mean, you went to school with so many incredible people, and I mean, I think it's so
Yeah,
special too, like to get to follow along like your journeys and like, see. That's my
I
favorite thing
know.
about like when they announce like the new generation of like students going to theater school and like you're like, oh, we're gonna see you on Broadway, like you're the future of Broadway, and I think it's so special because it's literally like that with your class, and I think it's so special just, I mean, as a performer too, like to get to look up to everyone and just know that like everyone started at theater school and like you said like it really helps you become a well-rounded performer and then you're kind of just sent out there to do the thing and that's
Yeah.
and I think it's really awesome to get to follow along those journeys.
It's great. And I feel like my class specifically is doing really well. And we always like text each other and be like, I got this. We're like, yay.
Yeah.
It's so fun. I feel like everybody's off doing something great, which is the best.
Yeah, it's so special. Well, I'm so excited to jump into this next section because you recently
Uh-oh.
completed a stellar run in Beetlejuice. And like you had the most unique journey with this show. Like I'm just like mind blown every time I think about it. So before even getting cast in the show, you had said that Lydia was a dream role of yours. So what
Yeah.
is it about her that really made you connect with her and gravitate toward her?
I think I've always been like I'm really kind of like when I was in middle school, I'd say like my MP3 player was full of like Paramore and Avril Lavigne and like I just love
Yes.
now like I just literally listen to so much like girl riot music and like pop punk and like I think there's something about that that is so it's just so good but that world is so interesting and I think when I was younger like I probably would have been a little bit more gothy if it was like I was in like Wisconsin so I was like everybody's gonna make fun of me like this isn't like I can't like dress in black and like be, but I like totally like would be so jealous of the people that were a little bit more like emo and gothy and I think there's a part of me that like always resonated with that and enjoyed that and um when that show first came out I loved it there's just that sound I just any show that has like rock sound in it and like the orchestrations are so beautiful and I think Lydia as a character she is so layered and so interesting to play like I just think that I loved it because it was just I love roles that are just so emotionally complex. Like she's just so there's so much to her and I feel like with every show I would kind of like be able to play with something new or find something new and I don't know. I think she's just such an interesting character that that was something I wanted to sing her songs. I wanted to like be able to do all of that crazy, and the show was just crazy. Like it was just such a crazy, kooky show that's just so fun that I think that it was like I'm a teen and I could do that, and like God, I just wish I could do that and sing Dead Mom every day.
I mean, that score, like, I will never forget the first time I saw that show. Like, I was sitting in the third row and, like, my jaw was on the floor. Like, I had
Oh,
never left a theater so, like, mind boggled by what I just saw.
so good.
Like,
It's so
oh,
good.
yeah. And could you share a little bit about your journey with Beetlejuice from your audition process to your final bow? Because I know everything kind of came together really quickly for you.
This is like my favorite. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So I had so really when I was supposed to be doing that summer, I had went and I auditioned for the Muni with
Yeah.
everybody in my school, like you do, you know, everybody
Yeah,
takes
of
a road
course.
trip down.
Yeah, of
And
course.
so we went on the Muni campus and we auditioned, and they were doing Les Mis that year. So I had been kind of I auditioned for the Telsey cast that. So Telsey was also casting Beetlejuice. I like to think that maybe that's why that happened. Also, Rachel Hoffman is so kind. She would come to our campus like every year, and we would sing our showcase material for her just to like try it out. And she would give feedback and be like, "Oh, have you thought about this song? Have you thought about this vibe?" Like I was trying to give like, and I remember she would ask us our dream roles and ask us a thing, and I was like, "Well, Lydia's my dream role." Like knowing she casted you, I was like, "Well, Lydia's my dream role." I don't know if you knew that. Like, and I think I was trying to like give I was trying to find a way to give Lydia a little bit too much in my showcase. She's like, honestly, girl, just like sing let you sing well. And I was like, okay, because I was thinking too hard about it. And I think at the end of the day, I just sang two pieces I love to sing, which yeah, that's great advice. Like I was so up in arms trying to pick something, but um I literally remember one day it was end of school. I think there were 2 weeks left of school. And we had this late acting class. It was a Friday. There's like a speaker that we were supposed to go and like sit in class. Like we didn't have to like do any scenes or anything. And I was like waking up in the morning. I'm like sitting in bed and I get an email, like random email out of nowhere. And it's from Telsey. They're like, hey, like we're looking for an immediate replacement for Girl Scout. Um, could do like it was just like kind of like a self-tape request. And I shot up out of bed and I went, no, 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 because I was like, if I don't get this, I'm gonna die. I'm literally gonna die. And it was like perfect timing. Like it would just be like, I don't know. I didn't expect it to be that fast, but initially it was like self tape. And then I think like a couple days later, they were like, hey, could you hop on a Zoom? Like it was like basically like a Zoom call back with the team. And I was like, yeah, of course. And I remember me and my friend in my class had both gone in for it and both gotten to that stage. And so we had to miss our acting class to do it. And so we were like this, hey, do you mind if we both go do this? And he was like, no, of course, like go do it. And I remember like we afterwards we like met up at like our like local Starbucks and like gabbed about it. We're like, oh my God. Like, and so we did that. And then I think like literally a day or two later, I got an email being like, hey, thank you so much. Like, could you send us this like dance call, like this movement call by tomorrow? Like, can you film this and get it by tomorrow? I understand this is really fast. If you can't do it, that's fine. I said, literally, yes, of course I can do it. And if I can't, I'm going to make room for it and find a way to do
Yeah.
it. I sent that in, and then I was just so in. I was like walking around campus like for like the next couple of days, like, oh my God, like what's gonna go on? And I remember being at breakfast and being like, I used to do this thing where I'd be like, it'd be so funny if like my phone rang right now and like they called me. That'd be so funny. And I've been doing that all morning. And then I was like at this like gas station and I got a text being like, hey, are you like around to call? Like, da da da. I was like this, I have to go home. I have to go home. And I ran all the way home, and then they called me and it was that. So I think it really took like it was like a matter of like 2 weeks, my audition process, which was insane. And then at this point it was like graduate, fly to New York, showcase, and then I canceled my flight home from New York initially from showcase, and I stayed in New York, and I had like rehearsals for tour the week after showcase, and then they flew me I think to Nevada, and then I was on tour. So I was literally, I remember being like okay, once I submitted the dance class, like, okay, maybe I should start packing up my apartment. And then I'm really superstitious. So I was like, don't do that because you're not gonna get it if you start
Oh
like
my God, I am the same. Like the second I'll get like a self-tape request and I'll start planning my life around booking it. And
and I'm
it's like,
like
girl,
this, stop,
you haven't even
stop.
booked yet. Like you need to stop.
I know. I'm like, I'm gonna jinx it. I'm like, don't even pick up
Yeah.
a single thing or a box. Like, you are going to jinx it. Don't do it. And then I remember booking it, be like this, call my mom, and be like, oh no, like I have to pack up my whole life in like 5 days. I'm so scared. But I
Yeah.
remember I just like brought my little suitcases, and it was crazy. I had no time to think about anything or like process it. But it was like looking back, it was insane. Like it was like the craziest time of my life. Like so many life-changing events, and then like joining this tour, and like it was all people I didn't know, and but it was so exciting and crazy and fun.
I mean, what a time and like what a quick turnaround. Like
I
I
know.
cannot, especially like when you're going on tour and like, you got to pack your whole life up into suitcases, like you said. Like
Yeah,
you literally had no time. It's like just like constant go, go, go. Like you're getting on a train and you don't get off until the show's done. Like it's crazy.
literally for like 2 years. It's crazy.
Yeah, and you were on tour for a year and a
Mhm,
half,
like a year
right?
and a half, and then like that Broadway tail. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, like a little bit more than a year and a half, but it was crazy.
So when you first joined the tour, so you joined as Girl Scout and then you understudied
Yes.
Lydia. So what was
Mhm.
that experience like with, kind of getting to see the show from all those different perspectives as Girl Scout and also going on as Lydia?
Yeah, it was the best. It was, well, Girl Scouts like kind of a princess track.
Yeah.
Um, so I think I got a little used to my time off stage, which was really nice. She's only in 4 parts of the show in the tour track, funnily
Yeah.
enough. So I thought it was like perfect transition into like doing something of that caliber because I was
Yeah.
really nervous, but I think there was something really great about me literally being in only 4 parts of the show and getting used to like being on tour and like being out of school and trying to find myself and my footing in like a more professional world. Like I never done anything like that ever before. So I think I was just really scared about, I don't know, just how to exist in that sense.
Totally. Totally.
But it was probably the best way I could have gotten into that. And I think understudying Lydia was so perfect. Like I think it was overwhelming in a good way. I feel like
Yeah.
anytime I got to go on, having just those like really sparse times and like not I think once we got into it more and they were like putting me on a little bit more like when I first joined I was like I don't know, I'm nervous, but it was really great, and I feel like I was able to really discover things about her, and like I feel like every single time I went on I like got more comfortable, and everybody around me was kind of like, we love seeing you on now because you're so like you're able to just like not think about it. I was just always having to
Yeah.
think about it, and it was such a mountain to climb. But then I remember the first time I went on and I was like, oh my God, I just went through that whole show without even think like I felt like so chill. And it was that was the best because I have understudied at school, but
Mhm.
I never had an event where like people called out and like I went on because we only really ran the show for 2 weeks. So like
Right.
actually understudying and knowing that you're going to have to do it was a little bit nerve-wracking to me. But also I was like, I don't know. I just loved being Lydia so much. And I was like, this is the best. This is literally the best.
Yeah, like I can't imagine like being on stage is the best feeling in the world, but I mean playing that part and especially in that caliber, like that's probably
Yeah.
the greatest feeling. And then when everything kind of sets in, I mean, I call it autopilot. Once you've been doing the show
Yeah.
for a while and your brain hits on autopilot and you can kind of just not cruise through the show, but like you know what I mean. Once it's
Yeah, yeah,
like there,
yeah.
you don't have to think about it. Like I can't imagine what that must have felt like for you and also getting to do Girl Scout as well. Like what a
Oh my God,
time
and she's
to
so
jump back.
funny.
Yeah, she's hilarious. And I love when people understudy and like with their tracks that they do when they have conversations with themselves. Like I think
Mhm.
that's the funniest thing. Like I absolutely
Yeah,
like
I
think
know.
that up. Like I love that. And then on October 22nd, 2024, you took over the role of Lydia full time on the national tour. So what was your reaction when you found out that you would officially be taking over as Lydia and getting to
Oh my
be her
God.
all over the world?
I freaked. I literally freaked. I remember, um, well, the girl that was playing Lydia, Bella, I love Bella. She's my world. But she was like, I think we were just casually talking. She's like, I think I'm leaving. And like in my head, I was like, this, okay. I was like, how do I low key put myself in for that because they did an open call. I remember being
Yeah.
like, okay, like maybe I should send an email or talk to somebody. And then they literally the next day posted an open call and I went, okay, so I need to do something quick.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like, because I wasn't sure if they were considering me at that point. I kind of like was like, hey, I'm interested if that's like a possibility at all. And I remember our associate director was like, no, I'm so glad you talked to me. Like, let me talk to everybody else and see what needs to be done. And I had to like film a tape. Well, they wanted me
Yeah.
to come in person to like the callbacks for the open call, but we were in Mexico. So we had this big month layoff and then we flew to Mexico. So I was like, guys, I can't go. I'm so sorry. So then I sent in a tape when we landed in Mexico, which I was like, Lord have mercy, that high altitude. Please let this come out
Oh
correctly.
yeah. Oh
And we
yeah.
hadn't adjusted yet. So I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so bad. But it was fine. And I think they had taped one of my shows. So I think they were able to maybe watch that. But I remember we were in Mexico. I was in an Airbnb with my friend Jonathan, and I remember them like texting me. I think Rachel had texted me that morning because I still hadn't had an agent at this point. So like it was like all
Yeah.
like casting directors like having to call me, which I think
Call
is so
you.
funny to
Yeah.
look back on. I'm like, hey guys, I'm sorry I made you guys do that. But she was like, hey, like I don't know if like you have to WhatsApp or what your situation is, but like let me know when you're around. I was like, okay, actually I can just call you, like my phone's working fine. I was like, I'll call you in 10 minutes. And then this was like she had told me on the phone not to tell anybody, but I literally like was like burst out of my room, was like, Jonathan, I'm calling her in 10 minutes. I'm so nervous. And then she called me and I like set up like my phone and like my little bedroom by myself. And it was
Yeah.
just awesome. And then I came out of my room like screaming and like I was like, you can't tell anybody in the cast until they announce it, but I'm so excited. Uh,
Yeah. Oh.
so that was so crazy. And it was just funny because we were just like randomly in Mexico and I couldn't tell anybody for like
Yeah.
months. Like I remember we returned, like we left Mexico and then came back from Mexico or came back to tour like in the
Yeah.
States. And I forget what city, but I like literally was like this. Oh my God, I'm going crazy. Like, do you guys know or like can I like I don't know. It was awful. I was like, I felt like some people knew just like from hearsay, and then like someone randomly found out, I think because they started to audition for Girl Scout for the rest of the tour.
So people put two and two together. Yeah.
Yes. So then
Yeah.
people were like, I think that the Girl Scouts replacing Lydia, like da 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 da. And then like my friends were texting me being like, is this true? I said, yes. I was like, I
Yes.
can't lie. I was like, you
Yeah.
got me, dang it.
Yeah.
Um, but that was really great. And I like called all my family and it was awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, your voice is just the most powerful thing ever. And
Oh,
like just your
thanks.
renditions of those songs just make me so happy. And what I think is so crazy about your journey too is like it's pretty much like I was looking at the dates and it's pretty much a year after. Like it's a little less
Yeah.
than a year, but on October 11th, 2025, you had a crazy day and I'm so excited to pick your brain about
No,
this.
literally.
You made your Broadway debut as Lydia with a mid-show swing on, taking over
I
at
know.
intermission for Act Two. So can you take us back to that moment? Like, how did you find out you were going on? What was running through
Yeah.
your mind before stepping on stage? Like, it was your Broadway debut, it was mid-show swing on. Like, how are you
Crazy.
feeling?
Oh my God, it was a crazy day. Well, I knew I had my scheduled show that Sunday. And
Yeah,
so
yeah, because you had
everyone,
the, yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
everyone in my life had bought tickets to the Sunday show. Literally no one I knew was at my Broadway debut, which was so funny. I like it was kind of sad, but also I was like this, okay, low key, maybe that needed to happen because I was like not nervous, but it was so crazy that I was like, this is
yeah,
insane. And also I need them to see a full show. But
yeah,
luckily at this point, um I know Bella very well. I know when not to be like I can see when she's off, but like I can kind of like read her like friend to friend and be
yeah,
like, oh, like I feel like maybe you're not like I was like, are we good, girl? Um and like I don't know. I just feel like we kind of like all have our tells when like
oh, totally.
maybe we're like a little under weather, like something's like a little bit amiss. And so I had been my stage managers wanted me to trail her that show, which it was just to kind of like be in a new space. So like you just for the space, like when you trail, you just kind of like follow somebody's
Yeah,
like track
yeah,
backstage. And it was more so to know like the theater's different. So it's like, when does she go up our like 87 staircases to go and make this scene? So I'm not like winded and out of breath to sing Dead Mom, and like how tight is this space back here, and like see like her traffic backstage. So I was trailing that day, and I was like backstage watching her Dead Mom, and I was like, oh, I was like, I don't think she feels good, or like I think something's wrong. And I remember I like went backstage to she exited Dead Mom, and I remember I went backstage and I was kind of like watching her, and I was like, sometimes I like do like little like kitschy stuff with everybody backstage, and I was like about to go, and I was like, oh no, I don't think she was talking to like our dresser and talking to our stage manager. I was like, oh no, I don't think she's feeling good. And I was just like kind of standing there and like hoping, like I was like, maybe I'll get us some water or something. I was like, oh no, I hope she's okay. And my ASM came over and he goes, so I just want you to know, I think that Bella's feeling a little bit under. I want you to be prepared. I'm not sure. We're gonna like see if we need to call it, but I think you should go and get into wake prep. And I was like, I went downstairs and everybody was like, have you heard? They're looking for you. They called you over the comms. Like, are you like, you need to start? I'm like, I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready.
There,
Because I was getting
there.
stage. So they were like calling for me to come visit the stage manager's desk, like stage left. And I was like literally back there watching it happen, being like, girl, I got you. I'm gonna go downstairs and get this wig prep. And it turned out she had COVID, which is
Oh, I
awful.
didn't know that.
I was
Oh
like, yeah, no
no.
wonder you felt awful. She didn't know she had COVID, but it's like, when like you have the starting of it, and then she got
Oh,
tested the next day, I think. And so I felt so bad because she missed that whole weekend, of course. Like, um, but it was crazy. So she finished act one, which I was like, good on her. I think I'm like, I was just happy. I felt so bad. I know like she probably had so many people there that first week, but she was able to finish act one. And so I had basically Dead Mom to intermission to like get all my wig prep. And
yeah.
everybody backstage was like, can we get you anything? Are you good? And I'm very, I guess, kind of like chill under pressure. I think everybody was like, what can we do for you? Like, what do you need? And I was like, no, guys, like, it's all good. I'm just gonna do my makeup. I'm just gonna do my wig prep, and we're gonna do the show. It has to be
Yeah.
done. It needs to get done. Um, and it was just, I think it's funny looking back because I just don't think I had time to get nervous about it or get in my head about it.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I think if I thought a little bit harder about it, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Um, but no, it was crazy. We have so many pictures and videos of me like putting on like my blush like this, and like it was also like the craziest and the best feeling from my castmates. Like, I feel like the backstage vibe was like
Yeah.
so insanely positive. Like, it was just like, I don't know, like everybody would be popping into the dressing room and saying like kind words and like screaming and
Oh,
yelling and cheering and hooping, and like I don't know, I was so like buzzy backstage, and I think that it would have been the same for my debut, but like because of the circumstances, it was so
yeah.
special that everybody really had my back, and like I know that they were like, we know this is insane, it's gonna be great. And I'm like, thank you. Like I don't know, it was just so special, and I think that's so typical of me also, just as a person, to make a mid-show swing on. Like that's like so of course my vibe. Like I don't know. Like people who know me are like, of course that happened.
Of
It's just
course.
funny.
Yeah.
No, but that was a crazy day, and it was just the best day. It was, oh my God.
Yeah, like I have no words. Like a mid-show swing on is already very crazy and
Yeah.
they don't happen a lot.
No,
But
yeah.
like a Broadway debut mid-show swing on is like the
It's
craziest double
insane.
entendre. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. And I mean for a role like of that caliber too, like wow. I have no words.
Hmm.
Crazy. And then after that expected or I should say really unexpected. Like we
Yeah.
kind of like it was it was expected like when that happened, but it was an
Hmm.
unexpected debut moment for you because you had your scheduled performance that Sunday, which is
Hmm.
crazy. What was it like for you getting to continue to play Lydia on Broadway and stepping into the role in New York on a Broadway stage?
Oh my God, it was great. Well, it is great to be in one place and do the show.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Lydia especially. I loved being in New York. I hadn't had the chance to move yet. So it was like great to like, I don't know, I was in New York with all my friends. I was doing a show that I loved. I had injured my voice actually a couple months back when we were in like before Canada.
Mhm.
Um, so getting to play Lydia like once a week and then sometimes more was so nice, especially for like trying to find my footing with my voice again and like properly let it function the way I want it to function. And I don't know, I think there was like some sort of like divine whatever that I got to like play my dream role and like I was so up in arms about how it would be and how it would come out and like I feel like my voice is a little different now. It's still like something I'm like, getting to learn again and like find because I feel like I don't know, I've been a little bit in my head about um my voice post all that, but like getting to do it once a week and then be able to like also like work on it in the city and like I feel like I still had time to like do the things I enjoyed and like figure out how to live in the city and I don't know it was just like best of both worlds. It was the best thing ever. I loved the Palace Theater. It was raised like 30 feet in the air.
Yeah,
Lord
yeah.
have mercy, those stairs. We love those stairs. I think Lost Boys even has more stairs than us because of their set. I'm so sorry to them. Ooh, but it was like the perfect role and show to make my Broadway debut with. And I think I don't know, it was the best. I loved it.
It's just so special for you because with it being your dream role and getting to do it
Yeah,
on tour and on Broadway, like it's incredible. It's
so
really
crazy. It was
incredible.
awesome.
Oh, and then what was that like for you as an actor, just getting to make such an iconic role your own? And did you feel that like your portrayal of Lydia kind of evolved as you continued performing with her on tour and on Broadway?
Yeah, I actually I do think so. I think um getting to make it my own was really special. And I think our associate director and then getting to actually work with Alex Timbers for the Broadway stint was
Yeah,
awesome. He is just
legend.
perfection. I love him so much. And I love Katie Davis, our associate director, and she was really great on tour. But she was really great about like letting us find different things, each of us as Lydia. And I think she really didn't want me. This show was really great about having everyone's own portrayal feel like their own. I think they didn't want us to kind of like, obviously, there were parameters, but if we kind of had something like a little bit different we wanted to try, there was space to do that. And I think we all found our own little bits. Like I loved it because every time I had a different Beetlejuice, it'd feel like I knew all of their bits and it would all be a different show and it didn't like throw me off, but it was just so fun. And I feel like that was the best part about being able to play her and like be able to find, I don't know, these aren't my own moments where I could be a little bit more like snarkier or sassier or like a bit more reserved or like I don't know, there was just so many different ways I could play her and I loved being able to kind of like play around with that first year I was playing her. And I think she really did evolve. I think like I don't know. I think I was a little bit when I first was playing her, I was a little bit more sprightly and like I don't know. But I think I found more of this kind of like reserved and very like uh blunter kind of like deadpan-y kind of Lydia. And I think I played her a little bit maybe more like sassier. And I don't know. I think it was just being able to find that and like when we got to get in the room again to kind of like change some things for Broadway, that was really great. I did I think one run before I made my debut, or maybe I didn't. I don't even know. I can't remember. But I think it was great because then I got to hear I never met Alex Timbers at this point, and he was really great to work with in that room because then I could kind of like hear like I don't know, it was interesting hearing him talk to Bella about the character and like I just think we were like diving into her a little bit more than maybe we had time to in the past and like be able to hear like also like maybe like original thoughts and directions they had given when they set the show at the start of the tour when I wasn't there and like getting to hear that was really helpful and I don't know. It was really great. And then I like often forget I was also like the first Black lady like full time, which is so special. And getting to do that and like seeing all these little girls at the stage door, like in like full like Lydia dresses. Like I don't know, we just don't see a lot of Black women get to be these characters specifically. So I think it was really important that I wasn't necessarily trying to be like Winona or trying to be anything like that, but just like be able to like shove myself into Lydia's body and like play her for 2.5 hours. And so that I don't know, yeah, that was kind
What a time. And like watching it start as your dream role in college and then now having done her on a national tour and on Broadway, like looking back, how would you describe this full circle journey that you've had with the show? And were there any favorite songs or favorite moments in the show that you looked forward to doing each night?
of ooh. Yeah, I'd say this is just like it was just like the
Yeah.
best time of my
Yeah.
life. And I think there was something really special about it being such a fun show.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it was very for Lydia, it was very emotional, and I feel like I would be like crying every night, and like you'll have
Yeah.
that. But also, like I just feel like I just like we just got to be like stupid with each other on stage. Like I don't know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
beautiful sound. I was always looking forward to because we have like bits on and off stage, and it was it's just like the best show to tour with. Like we had a really great company. We were exploring the country and like we got to do so many different crazy things I would have never done like out of school like that. And like I don't know when I would have gotten to Mexico City, but I got to go there and the hot air balloon and then like go do the show at night. And it was just it was just like I think the perfect thing for me at that age to do. And my favorite, I love Dead Mom. It's
Oh my God. It brings
classic.
the house down every time. Your Dead Mom
It's
is my
great.
favorite.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
so,
It's the best to
so
sing. It's the
good.
best to do. You feel like this little like rock girl, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's awesome. And then Beautiful Sound is like always my favorite. I think me and
That's my
Justin
favorite number to
would
watch.
just like
Yeah.
be goofs. And like some nights, like I don't know, there would always be something that would like kind of get you in that. Like I feel like I don't know. This like clones trying to make me break, or like Justin would kind
Yeah.
of fall off the chair and I'd be like losing my mind. And like, I don't know. It's just so fun to interact with everybody on stage and do that group number because I'm never like seeing everybody. I'm always like off doing something with like the Maitlands or like Justin or like da 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 da. And it was just like great to like all be on stage and like, I don't know. I love a group number.
Now, I mean, what a show, what a journey. Like your journey with that show always blows my mind. Like how special, how crazy. Like it's a beautiful sound, your journey with that show. Like it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
so crazy. And now you are currently making your Cape Playhouse debut in Into the Woods in the role of Little Red Riding Hood. So you were actually in a production of Into the Woods when you were younger, and you portrayed the
I
roles
was.
of Rapunzel and Little Red Riding Hood. So
Yeah.
how has your experience been like revisiting this iconic show all these years later?
Yeah, it's great. This is one of those shows that I kind of like forget how good it is until we were in the rehearsal room and we
Oh,
were like singing through everything and like blocking these scenes and I would just like keep turning to
oh.
like I would like literally keep turning to Joe because he sat next to me at rehearsal. I'd be like, this show is so good.
So
Oh
good.
my God.
So good.
I mean it is like there is so it is probably one of my if not my favorite musical.
Yeah.
Is just insanity how it is always relevant. It is so profound. I feel like in every single stage of your life, there is something new that you hear that resonates a little bit more with you. And even now, like, I feel like there are new things that I'm finding. I'm playing Little Red similarly, but like completely different. Like, I just feel like now I'm kind of seeing her in a different way and for what she is. And like, I don't know, there's so much loss and so much love. And it is a perfect show and it is the
Yeah.
best to do. So I'm so glad I got to do it again. And I'm so glad to do it with this group of people. This group of people is like
Yeah.
they are so special and they are so great. And I think the cast is really what makes it such a special piece. Like I just think we are so lucky with what we have here. And Eric directed a great room, and we're in a beautiful setting, and it's been pretty great to do so far here too. We've had great audiences, and I love doing the show.
Yeah, I mean, everything about it is just perfect. And I mean, it's so funny that you bring that up. So it's my favorite thing about Into the Woods too, is that every stage of your life, there's
Mhm.
something in the show that you rediscover. Like, I always compare this show to life, and like, it sounds so cringy and like corny to say, but like, every new stage of your life is a different trip into the woods. And I think what's so beautiful about this show is like, everything is so cohesive, even though everyone has a different story and it all comes together. And I think that's the true meaning behind theater and the true meaning behind life and just all
Yeah,
the little adventures and getting to experience that. And I mean, especially too, that this venue is very barn themed. Like, I think it
yeah,
just, it works
it
perfectly.
works
And I mean, the
perfect.
cast is perfect. Like, there's nothing about this production that could just be more perfect. Oh. And then what was your reaction like when you found out that you would be playing Little Red?
Oh, I was so excited. I remember going in that audition initially, um, and I was like, oh, this would be so great to do. And was, I've always kind of wanted to work here. I was like, it's a
Yeah.
great place to be. It's like one of the longest running theaters in the country, and like regional theaters. And their summer rep is really great. They do great shows. They have like, obviously you're like beach town. I mean, that's a pretty great plus too. But I just remember my agents being like, I think they're gonna put together like a really great cast for this one. I really hope that this works out. And I remember going in my call back and being like, hope I really hope so. And I really love this show. I really think this is one of those great great shows that I'm like I hope like I get to do more. Like I want to be able to like be, I don't know, like the Baker's Wife and Cinderella at some point in my life. Like it was just I just never get sick of it. And I think this is especially like what I needed now. Like I just needed to be doing Into the Woods at the Cape Playhouse on the Cape, like eating lobster rolls and doing the show at night, and this group
Hell
of
yeah.
being with this group of people, um and getting to like I don't know, I think this is just it's there's something so special about regional theater too, that it's not, I feel like it's more for yourself. And it's more about like just creating good art. And there's something about post Beetlejuice and doing so much commercial theater. Like Beetlejuice
Mhm.
is a great show and I loved doing it. But I mean, the cult's following of it is insane. People really, really love that show. And like we would do a lot of marketing and a lot of interviews, which were also really great. But then also, I don't know, there's something special about coming here and doing like Into the Woods for like small, like I don't know how much the theater seats, but it's obviously not as much as like these like 2,000 seat touring houses
Yeah.
that we would be performing for every night. So there's something about getting to like, I don't know, close that chapter and then like open this kind of new chapter with doing a really great show for the heart, for like in the room we said like this is just like for us, like it's a small cast, we got to be like very close and just I don't know, it's just there's something about this show specifically that I'm like, I needed this, and I needed like it's almost like feel like I'm like rerouting myself before I go back out and like go back to New York and then like in the throes
Totally.
of it again. It's just really great. It's such great.
Yeah.
I love Into the Woods.
Me too. I mean,
Obviously.
this show, it tugs on your heartstrings.
Yeah.
Anytime I just need to feel good. Like, it's always the Into the Woods cast album for
Great
me.
music.
Like,
Great
it's
music.
great music. It's such beautiful life lessons are just embedded in the music.
Mhm.
And I mean, like you were
Yeah.
saying, like I just love when theater becomes so intimate. Like, it's a small house.
Yeah.
It's an intimate show, and like you're performing out there, and like no matter how many seats the theater seats, it's just so awesome to get to be out there and look out into this house and you can see the back row and you can see the
Yeah.
reactions and the intimacy and like I think a lot of young kids come see Into the Woods, and I mean, just getting to watch young kids fall in love with it and, older generations who grew up with it, it's so beautiful to see because it's a show for the heart. And like that's
Yeah.
why I think I love it so much, and that's why it speaks to so many people, is it's just it always like it lives in the heart. It's such a beautiful show. And I mean, the music, it just sparks so much feeling, and it's just there's something in it for everyone. And I think that's really special.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what does it mean to you to get to make your Cape Playhouse debut in this production? Because I mean, Cape Playhouse is such an iconic theater. I mean, it's where Broadway goes to summer. And what's
Yeah,
that like?
famously.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's there's so much history in this theater that I
Yeah.
didn't realize. And we do like this ceremony for Gertrude Lawrence before we open a show, and we present her with these blue hydrangeas, and we like hold space for her, and like we just got her new flowers. She like haunts the theater. And so, you have to like take good care of her. And two girls are in Alex and Pearl, who play the witch and the baker's wife. They're in the Gertrude Lawrence's dressing room. So like when you're in there, it's like that's real special. But it's so it just feels so cool. And I don't know, it was so exciting to see like also like all their posts of like who was at the Tonys this year that was like Cape Playhouse alum. And like I don't know, it's just like fun, and the community that they've built here, the Broadway stars who've been here and like on that stage and in these halls and things. It's really cool. It's we also have like some people in our cast who um Renee lives on the Cape, and some people who are returning to the Cape and have had great summers there and have been like talking about it. Our whole rehearsal process, like we can't wait till we can get up there, and we're going to take you here and here and here and here. I don't know, it's just there's something really special here that I think it's not something that you can like recreate in the city and like find that I don't know, there's something about coming to like it's just like a small coastal town, and there are people who come see these shows and really feel deeply about this theater and about this community here. And I think that that's something that's very special, because I don't know, sometimes I think we get a little bit robotic in the way, like I don't know, like I'm going out on like this regional contract and it's just another job. But like I don't know, it's interesting like coming to someone else's town, and like this is like their theater that they get season tickets to and like see every show. And like this is like I don't know, this probably like means the world to someone and their daughter, and they make such a night of it and like come see the show. And that's what's really special. I think there's something that I don't know. It's just like when you come, I don't know, it's just so special. And I feel very honored to be here and glad to be here and glad to like share this space that everybody, I don't know, so many greats have been in as well.
Yeah, I mean, the theater holds so much history and the
Mhm.
show holds so much history. And I think it's just so
Yeah.
special to get to be part of that. And, speaking of that history, how did you prepare to step into such an iconic and beloved role?
Oh, I think it was a lot of like I did listen to listen to the soundtrack a lot, and
Yes.
I
Yes.
think I wanted a bit more of. I think this time I really was able to get in the words. Like I think the last time I did it, it was nice having done it before, because
Yeah.
this show is lyrically a little bit, I feel like sometimes you get a little bit tricked up. And it's beautifully written, but it is very wordy. And I think this time I was able to actually kind of like understand a bit more about what I'm saying, what I'm singing. I think a lot of the work we did in the room, just like talking about meaning and deeper meaning with a lot of these scenes and a lot of the subtext in the songs, were very helpful. Um, I think mostly that. We also read the Grimm's stories and the tales that they were based on, which I had never done, weirdly enough. So I like read Little Reds, and hers, and obviously they're darker, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just interesting to see like Jack's story and like everybody's stories. They pasted them on the wall so that we could like kind of reference them throughout rehearsal process. And I don't know, I think the way that we're playing it is a bit like, obviously act one is a bit more like fantastical and like
Yeah.
happier, and like act two is a bit darker, but like we're really leaning into that kind of like dark aspect, which I enjoy. And um, it's been I feel like there's a lot more in my life too that I can pull from, like more lived experience than maybe than I had done it the last time. That feels a bit more special this time playing Little Red. And um, yeah.
Yeah, and do you have a favorite part about playing Little Red and just getting to tell this beloved story?
I think she has a beautiful like arc. Like I don't know, she's very I do love playing her because she is just I always say I somehow get stuck playing the characters that just yell and run around. Like Lydia is literally like screaming and yelling and running around all the time. Little Red is doing much of the
Yeah.
same. Like
Yeah.
I am just yelling in this show and screaming and running, and I love it. But I think, being able to be this like really bratty, kind of brash, and um, also very I think she's like a very strong character, and she's very protective, and I feel like she had to find ways to make it on her own. And I don't know, she's just so she's just so fun to
Yeah.
play. And I think that it's just my favorite when I get to like kind of like brandish my knife to Joe and like threaten him, and like I'm yelling again, and then like opposite Javi plays a baker, I'm like yelling at him all the time and screaming. And I think we just also have really special moments with our Cinderella Delphi. um when we get into that kind of final four scenes at the end of Act Two, where it's just like Jack, Little Red, Cinderella, and the baker, that's just so special. And these people are so special. And I just love having those moments with them. And it just feels a bit, it's not, it feels a bit quieter. And I don't know, there's something about like No One Is Alone to the end that is so, it's just great. It's just like, I kind of feels like we are really like alone on the stage. Like, and I don't know, it just that's the moment where it kind of hones in. That's like, oh, we're doing this show, and it feels good. Yeah.
Yeah. No One Is Alone is like the ultimate theater failure of like put on this song and don't cry. Like
I know.
I can never get through the end of Into the Woods without crying. Like it is the
It's so
most
beautiful.
it's beautiful. Oh, do you have a favorite like scene, song, or moment that you look forward to doing each night?
What is my favorite singer song? I don't know. I really like doing Your Fault.
Oh my
I
God,
think
it's
it's really I
yeah,
think it's really
yeah,
fun.
yeah. That's
That
how you
song
know
is
you can spot
great.
a theater kid.
The song is great, and I think like I don't know, it just gets so fun to like kind of be like all like mad, like and pointing at each other and like screaming. And I do love the scene I have with Javi where he takes my cape and I like am screaming bloody murder, and like
Yeah.
sometimes we'll make a little meal out of it, and he like I don't know. That just gets so fun. Like that whole stretch of like, it's like my 3 act play, I call it. I like do that, and then I do like the granny scene, and then I know things now, and then I'm like kind of done for a bit of that
Yeah.
act. But that's always the best. I love, and I just love singing her little song, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
I mean, she's an icon. She is so much fun to play. And like now that you've gotten to spend so much time with her, now being toward the tail end of this run, which just
Yeah.
breaks my heart. But all good things must come to an end. And having had played her when you were younger, like, do you feel that she has influenced you as a performer, like taught you anything as a performer that you're just gonna carry with you now?
Ooh, I think like maybe that I think she's a little bit um she doesn't really care what people have to say. I think there's something about playing her that I get to be a little bit more bolder, a little bit more like I won't take the mean bits of her with me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she is a little bit more like bold, and I think there's something about her at the end of the show that is very special. Like she's always been kind of this, she's a kid, like she is
Yeah.
a vulnerable emotional um character, but I feel like she kind of like puts on this like I have to have it together and like everything's fine. And she's like, I can't find my mother anywhere, but like I'm gonna go to my granny's house and it's okay anyways, even though my mom might be crushed by the giant. But
Yeah.
I think there's like something about the character that's like, I don't know, just turning pages and finding new home and finding like just creating new, more positive memories. And I don't know, the way that her story wraps up, I feel like is something that stays with me a little bit. And um, I think at the beginning of the show, just how she's just like so hilariously like proud and like herself. And I think that that's something that's also like pretty great. Like I don't know, I feel like after playing here it's like kind of like I got like this boost because I just am so high energy all the time.
Yeah.
And she is just so, she's just like so herself, and I think that that is probably something that I'll try to be a little bit more.
Always. And what has your highlight moment been in the woods so far with this production?
Ooh, I think, oh, we had a really great audience the other night on the 4th, funnily enough.
Yeah.
We were kind of nervous because we were like, well, everybody's gonna be on the beach and like
Yeah.
celebrating. Like maybe we won't have a great turnout, but we had a really great full house. A lot of people's friends and family came. So like they were hooping
Oh,
and hollering, and then like it was just like so surprisingly like loud and responsive and reactive. And I feel like that was like our first show. Everybody felt insane in a great way. Like we just
yeah.
felt like so, I think, kind of like riding on a high of like actually getting like these big laughs. Like the
Yeah.
audiences have been great, but this was like a very like boisterous reactive audience, which I think felt really great to us because we were like, oh my God, we're funny. Like
Yeah.
like we are funny, like this is great. And I think it helped me feel definitely a little bit more like high energy. And we were kind of, oh my God, there's a car alarm start going off. I'm so sorry. Um but I feel like everybody was kind of doing like new bits a little bit and like
Yeah.
kind of like doing things like our assistant director was like, it was really funny because I feel like a lot of you were kind of doing things like I never seen you do, but it was great and I wish you guys would just do
Yeah.
them early. Like, and I
Yeah.
just think we were like trying to like milk the audience a little bit, but it was a great show and I think we all kind of like felt it and were able to like giggle and like the
Yeah.
backstage vibe was really great and it's been really fun and I think we're just I keep being like I wish we had more time, like I'm so sad that it is coming to an end and we did not have enough time here on the Cape. I wish we could be here forever. It's the
Oh, I know.
best.
It's such a beautiful escape. And, just to have audiences come out and, like, I mean, like, it's true, but, like, when you're up there and actors are feeding off of the audience laughter, like, and, you're
Uh,
getting to do new things and step out of that comfort zone, like, it's the best feeling in the world. And then you get to go to the
yeah.
beach. Like, it's
I
so fun.
know. Yeah.
Oh, it's so awesome. So, looking back on everything you have achieved in this industry, what advice would you give your younger self entering the industry?
Oh. I'd say, ooh. I'd say, I think I was very reserved as a kid, which I was like very, very socially anxious and socially shy. I remember when I had done that second Aristocats,
Yeah.
there were like interns that they would hire like from the high school that would come and like they'd kind of like be able to try out different backstage things to see like, I don't know, like if that was something that they wanted to go into. So my brother was an intern that year. And when I remember when I auditioned, I got an ensemble, which I was like, oh my gosh, oh man, like I really thought I was gonna get Marie. And I remember my brother was like, they actually like we're gonna give you Marie, but they thought you were too quiet. And I think like there's even through high school, I think I would just get a little bit not that I was unsure of myself, but I don't know. I think there was always I would always hold back a little bit. Like I wouldn't like be able to let myself fully commit. And I think there's something, so those are the performers and everybody like the people that you really look up to are like people who just like really give it everything and are able to just like go out there and like leave everything out there. I mean like that's what we should be doing, I guess. And like and now what I feel like I do now, but I feel like to like my younger me it's just like be like you're good, like just like you just like give it everything you've got. And like I just think that I should have just been more sure of who I am and what I had and like my skill sets and feeling like I belong in rooms. I think, I came also from like an area in Wisconsin that it was diverse, but just I definitely went to like predominantly white institutions. And I think that was also a little bit like draining on me as a kid. And I think just like reassurance like that, I belong in spaces and like you have to create room for yourself and like create these spaces and like I don't know, it's just like assurance of like you're doing it, girl. Like it's just you gotta just be more bold and just like, you know, you just have to like make your presence known and no one will be waiting for you to get on the train. You gotta run and stop the train and get on it. And then
Yeah, you gotta
commandeer
run and
it.
scream and get on the
Yeah.
train.
And then be the
Yeah.
conductor girl. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know it's so special because you always hear like never let people dim your light. And I mean it's just so
Yeah.
special to get to watch you shine and spread that light all over the world. Like you've been such an inspiration and I'm just so grateful.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me on the Inspiration Show. I am in constant awe of your incredible talent, and I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to get to look up to you and watch you shine. And I just have so much love and admiration for you. And it was such an honor to have you here. Thank you for inspiring me.
Thank you. It was so great to talk to you. You're so sweet.